I'll go ahead and go to my next winner. So my next and last winner of the offseason is the New Orleans Pelicans. And for me, the primary reasons why are I really liked moving away from Drew Holiday. He just doesn't fit the timeline of this team, and so I really liked moving away from him and getting a lot of picks in return. I think the package they got for Drew Holiday was absolutely incredible. I mean, they got Eric Bledsoe, who they plan on sticking around. I think he's a very, very downgraded
Serviceable.
version of Drew Holiday, but I think he
Yeah.
can help serve that role a little bit. And they just got a bunch of picks and pick swap options there. I thought that was an incredible trade package for the Pelicans. I think bringing in Steven Adams, what player in the league wants to go run around screens of Steven Adams and Zion Williamson for 48 minutes? Holy crap. Like, you are going to absolutely hate playing the Pelicans next season. I think that is going to be so fun to watch as these two bruisers just absolutely slaughtering guards on screens. That's going to be incredible to see. I think picking Kyra Lewis in the draft a little early in my opinion, but I think he fits their sort of push the pace type of playing style. Giving Brandon Ingram that max contract, I think that was very smart. I think I expect him to continue to elevate his game. The coaching change was also nice, and also there's been a lot of reports. Again, it's just reports, but uh, Zion Williamson saying like last season, like there's a lot of his game that he didn't even demonstrate because he didn't want to be the rookie that messed up. And I think that's a fair thing to say. And I think he's a pretty straightforward guy. And so I'm going to like take his word for it. And I actually like fully expect him to come out next season and like, assuming he can stay healthy, like I don't think there's any way he can't average around 25 if he stays healthy. I mean, the dude averages like 22, 23, like without like trying. Like it's literally like a couple quarters go by and you're like, how does this dude have like 18 points already? I just saw him touch the ball like 4 times. Like it just doesn't make any sense. He's so explosive and athletic. And I'm also the big thing for me I'm looking forward to seeing next season also is Lonzo Ball. I want to see that man take the next step. And I think he can do it. I think for this team to be able to make the playoffs in the West, it comes down to Zion staying healthy and Lonzo Ball taking that next step.
Yeah, I don't know. This Pelican situation to me is hard to judge until I see it. And first talking about that whole Zion Williams comment that we were talking about,
Yeah.
um, that kind of was concerning for me whenever I initially saw it. And the reason being is that if he's just not trying to mess up and that's your mindset in NBA games, like I don't know, because we're talking about the same player that, after a potentially serious injury at Duke, towards the end of the season, he, had every right to sit the bench and just save his draft stock. But he said, no, I love the game too much. I want to play. Just let the boy play type of
Yeah.
situation. And now that he's in the NBA, he's just scared that he's going to mess up. He doesn't want to be a bust. There's a lot of high expectations on him. And, I feel like mentally, I mean, I don't want to go into a mental psychological evaluation of that comment, but like, I don't know. I mean, I feel like he has to just be having fun out there, just playing the game. He can't, be worrying about like trying to mess up. And I don't know how, like, he didn't talk to the coaches or some other, veteran players or, had a phone call with LeBron and talked about the pressure of being a number one overall pick, being a high, just having massive expectations and like trying to talk to someone and try to figure some of that out, how to deal with it mentally. But I don't know, like if he's still like thinking about it, well, maybe he's just trying to get it off his chest and so he can move forward with it and like forget about that. And that's part of his process. But like, I don't know. When I initially saw that, I was like, I don't know. Like, I feel like he should have like kind of been working on that and figuring some of that out a lot
Well,
earlier.
I think that's a good point, but the way I saw it was not like I saw it more as like um he was nervous to mess up in the sense of like doing different game moves that aren't necessarily his strong suit. I think that's why we saw a lot of times, I mean, he kept going to that same move that post drop step to over his right shoulder to get to his left every time. But the thing is, it worked. Like everyone knew what he was gonna do, and you like could not stop it. Like I did not see anyone able to stop him going to his left. And so I actually think like the coaches I think Steve Van Gundy is gonna have that conversation and be like, look, like no one in the league can stop your power move. But if we can add other things to your game and help you improve and sort of focus on going your right, maybe some different jump shots, different actions for him, I really look forward to seeing that because I think that's going to even open up his game more and make him that much more capable of scoring so many points. But I mean, I do think it's a good point to say, like, it's not a good sign to have a player basically be nervous to mess up. But I saw it more as he was more nervous to sort of maybe do moves outside of his comfort zone in game. And I think a lot of that comes down to the coaching because I think the coaches maybe have put a lot of pressure on him and things like that. I like Stan Van Gundy as a coach. I think he's that old school mentality. I think he's really going to help really uplift Zion as a player. I think Zion's going to come up this season so much more comfortable. He's used to the NBA now. And I mean, I really look forward to seeing him play next year. I mean, besides the fact that he's like one of my favorite players to watch, but I'm looking forward to seeing the improvements and the strides he makes in his game and the way that he can sort of expand outside. I'd really like to see him also work a lot in pick and roll actions, not as just a screener, but also as the ball handler. I'd love to see that. I mean, could you imagine a pick and roll action with him and Steven Adams? Like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Like, that would be nasty. And I think that'd be really incredible to watch. But no, I'm looking forward to just seeing what he does to expand his game next season and staying healthy. But I do agree. I think it is a notable point that, like, there should be a little caution there. But at the same time, I'm not too concerned about it.
Yeah, that's fair. And then the other point that you're kind of mentioning was the whole Lonzo Ball
Mm-hmm.
situation. And with Eric Bledsoe, I just don't know how they're going to be sharing the minutes. What Stan Van Gundy decides. But I thought after last season, Lonzo had kind of cemented himself as the starter for that team,
Yep.
especially someone to similar timeline to kind of progress alongside Zion and Brandon Ingram. Um, but then, I mean, I know they're just getting rid of Drew Holiday, who was able to play alongside those guys and bring in Eric Bledsoe. But Eric Bledsoe's been a little bit more of a ball dominant point guard than Drew Holiday. And so I know that they're bringing in Bledsoe for his defensive capabilities 100%. But I guess we'll just have to see kind of how they utilize, which players they utilize for bringing the ball up and who they might have be coming off the bench later down the line. I don't know. That was just kind of a question mark and a little bit of a red flag for me for their organization because I feel like at this point Lonzo's like had some struggles early on in his career, specifically with the Lakers. But now that he's shown good signs and improved each season. And in my opinion, the organization needs to be uplifting and sending him signals that, he's their point guard of the future and they want him to be, to continue developing, give him all the keys to be that next best player for their team. And, by kind of, initially with the whole George Hill situation, I know George Hill ended up getting packaged in that Steven Adams trade. But, they also had whoever we were just talking about, Bledsoe, I'm in a trade. And can't remember off the top of my head, but there was someone else that they had acquired. There was a point guard. And I was just like, if
Kyra
you're
Lewis in the draft.
well, yeah, Kyra Lewis. And it's like they're kind of sending signals that okay, maybe we're unsure if Lonzo's our guy. And if I'm the Pelicans like ownership or in their front office right now, I feel like you got to be sending him the opposite signals, telling him, okay, yeah, you are our guy, trying to instill confidence in him from a former number 2 overall pick, and saying that you're not losing faith in him so that he doesn't, want to get out, if situations go wire, you got to try to keep those good relations. And so that was one of the reasons why I didn't have them as, one of my predominant offseason winners. Granted, I did have him as a honorable mention alongside the Hawks for me. So, I definitely think from a team composition standpoint, yes, they deserve to be winners. I just saw a couple red flags that kind of swayed me away one way or the other.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair. I mean, we're gonna have to see what they look like going into next season. I think for me, I want to see them become a better defensive team, and I think they made those movements into next season, acquiring Steven Adams, Eric Bledsoe, and so on. Um, I think they're gonna more utilize their guards as facilitators instead of scorers, and really try and push Brandon Ingram and Zion to be their scorers. I think that's what I kind of look for them to do. But I agree. I mean, I do think that like Lonzo Ball might be a little nervous with bringing in all these different types of guards and stuff, but at the same time, I think without getting into bold prediction or anything too much, but like I do think Lonzo is going to make a big jump next year. I really do. I mean, his shooting was so significantly improved last season. He was shooting in like I think he was shooting like 30 some up like mid upper 30% from three for him, which is a massive stride. Um, and I know we've talked about this a lot before, but I mean, I want to see him improve, definitely attacking the basket and stuff. So, I mean, I'm not too concerned about maybe him getting nervous about the Pelicans lacking faith in him because I think he's going to come out next year ready to go, ready to play, and he's going to have his game improve significantly. And I think he's going to become this third option for the Pelicans. I think he has that capability. He just needs to improve his game a little bit.
Yeah, and another bonus fun fact for the episode: Lonzo Ball is one of 4 players in NBA history to average at least 6 rebounds per game and 6 assists per game at age of 20 or younger.
Yeah.
As another fun fact. So alongside his scoring, and we were talking about you mentioned his 3-point percentage last season on 6.5 attempts per game. He was shooting 37.5%,
Yeah.
which is good.
Yeah, he's definitely improved it significantly. But like, can you see what's his field goal percentage?
His field goal percentage is 40%.
Exactly, that's the issue right there. He's so bad at attacking the basket. He's at 6'6" guarding. I find a lot of times he's almost nervous about like taking contact at the rim, and that's what I want to see him improve. So that's
Well,
what I need. That's where I need to see his jump is in that 2-point field goal percentage, especially around the rim, because he doesn't attack like a 6'6" guard. He attacks like a guy that's like 6 foot, and
well,
that's what I need to see.
I think some of that also comes from the fact that he is a very pass first type of player.
That's true.
And so anytime you're going into the lane as a pass first player, you're just you're not really attacking the rim. You're kind of attacking it with the mindset of, okay, let's draw on these other defenders and, make a pass elsewhere to try to open up an option for someone else.
Yeah.
But so, I mean, I think that's where some of that comes from. But yes, I mean, when he decides to commit and attack the rim and actually follow through with a shot, yes, he should be converting at a higher clip, 100%.